We are live. Hello. We are on YouTube and we're also on Rumble. Welcome to Awful Goodness number 80. We got news for you today. Um, I'm your host, Condor Jez. Next to me is he's the brains behind the operation, Midnight.
See if I'm the brains if this Rumble stream goes live.
Yeah. I haven't seen anything pop up yet, so
That's a good sign.
yeah. And absolutely getting topped by the both of us.
Ew.
He's our little beaner man at Mega.
Hello there.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
We're live.
Woohoo! On Rumble. Yay. So what's shaking? What's been going on with you guys this week, this Sunday?
I had a weird experience at CVS the other day.
Okay.
Mega, do you know what a
Elaborate.
CVS is?
The name rings a bell.
It's a drugstore chain. Like, they sell like
Medicine.
drugs. Yeah, it's like a medicine store, but they also sell a bunch of other stuff like, I don't know, pens, and some of them you can buy like drinks and snacks at, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the concept. We have our own chain of that here in Mexico too.
Do you have Rite Aids in Mexico? What is the chain? What is the drugstore chain in Mexico?
One is called Farmacias Guadalajara.
Yep.
Okay.
Familiar with that. And also Farmacias Similares.
But that one mostly sells medical drugs. They rarely send other stuff that's not that. It's outside of medicine.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll go only for Farmacias del Ahorro. De Guadalajara.
So I told you guys about this sunburn that I got.
No.
Yeah, I went to the lake with my stepfather, and it got to a point where I was like, okay, we were there for a couple of hours, and I was like, all right, cool, let's take off. It's like, no, we got time to kill. These boomers, they still have that let's sit on the beach for like 12 hours thing in their head. I'm like, man, I just meant to go there for a couple of hours, maybe take a dip, and then go do other shit. So whatever, I hung out with them for a little while longer, and then I'm like, Dad, you want to take off? He's like, no, we still got time to kill. I'm like, fuck, I'm burning. I know I'm burning, because I didn't know we were going to the beach. That was the thing. We had made plans to go to the beach, and then he canceled them, and he asked me for a ride somewhere. And when I was driving him back, he's like, oh, let's go to the lake. I'm like, fuck. So I didn't have any sunscreen on me, so I got the shit burned out of me. And I went to the drugstore the other day because the sunburn is just about at that point where it's starting to, it's peeled, it's mostly healed, but it's really itchy. It's really itchy. So I went to the drugstore to get some aloe. You guys know what aloe is, right? They have that in Mexico, right?
Yeah, we use it for the sunburns, of course.
So I was like, I didn't know where they would have it. So I went up to the guy at the counter. I was like, hey man, do you guys have just pure aloe? I don't want others. I don't like other chemicals, and I try to have as little to do with them as I can. So the guy looks at me and he starts going, "Oh, banana boat, green." And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, the green one, the banana boat." What do you guys think he was saying?
Well, there's a brand of like aloe called Banana Boat.
There is, and that's what he was talking about. Except for, to me, I don't know this. I don't know that how the fuck do I know what brands of aloe there are? He's just saying like random words, and I was just like, dude, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But he clarified.
Yeah, it's
It was,
very common.
it was just a strange moment of someone saying words without context and my having no idea what the fuck they're talking about. And he seemed a little bit put off by my needing an explanation, but I got over it.
I mean, you could have just wrote it off as going as your brain was fried by the sun.
I could have, but that would have been really bad considering it was over a week ago, and it still would have left me without the aloe that I needed to treat that sunburn.
Fair enough. I went to a cat cafe today.
Oh Jesus!
Oh, it wasn't that bad. It was like just part of like a cat store. So all they had was like maybe 6 cats, and they were mostly lazy and sleepy. And you go in and they have like their little climbing perches and all all sorts of little cat toys and all that. And then like in the back there was like you could make your own like coffee and teas. And they also had like snacks and like a little mini bar. It was really fun to just sit
What?
and be with the little cats.
Okay, so what did you purchase snacks?
Um Basically you have to set up like a reservation. It's like 25 soles per person.
Okay, but did you get any snacks?
Yeah, cuz it's
Okay.
included.
What
The
snacks were
fee
included?
just like cookies, crackers,
What kind of cookies?
like Oreo. They also had like the Ritz cheese sandwich crackers.
Is that all they had for snacks?
They also had like Peruvian brands, and then of course tea and coffee that you
What kind
just
of
make
Peruvian
yourself.
brands?
I don't know. There's like a cookie called margaritas where it's like a shortbread cookie that looks like a flower, and like a
Do those have lime frosting in them?
no, those would be the rellenitas or the rellenitas, which are they're like Oreos except it's the yellow cookie and it has the lime filling, lemon lime filling.
Oh, okay. Can you have all the snacks and coffee and tea and cakes that you want, or is there a limit?
Mm, I guess there's no limit, but unfortunately you can only have like 1 hour in the cat room because
See,
it's limited space.
so you're paying 25 soles to get in and then have access to like the snack tray, essentially.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
play with the kitties too if
Hmm.
they're up
Is
for playing, but today they were just being lazy.
there do they provide you with like cat snacks to give to the cats?
Yeah, they're like these little dried meat strips, but as I said, they were lazy and not interested in having the
Okay.
snacks, so I brought them home for the little Mew, for the little
How
black
much
Hebrew
is
Mew Israelite.
25 soles in people money?
Mm, making me do math on my own fucking show.
I mean, but it doesn't have to be exact. You can estimate it. It's okay.
According to this, one Peruvian sol is equal to 0.27 US dollars.
So a sole is
No.
a quarter?
No, hold on. Work calculator. No. 25. It'd be like almost $7.
Okay. So
$7.
So you're
$7
paying.
for 1 hour and all the snacks you can want, but within
So you're paying.
reason, in case there's other people there.
So you're paying $7 an hour to play with cats and have snacks.
Yes.
Meanwhile, you have a cat and snacks at home.
Yes, but it's the experience, you know?
I mean, everything's an experience.
I mean, my friend who I went with, they also have a cat, and they could have done the same thing at home, but we just went together to the cat cafe because it's the first one in the city too.
Okay.
So high demand.
Is there a high demand? Are there a lot of people going to the cat cafe to pay $7
Yes.
to play with cats?
Yes, that's why we're only limited to like 1 hour. And you have to make a date beforehand, an appointment beforehand.
I see.
Yeah. Well, Omega, what about you?
What I have been doing, the usual day-to-day work, uh, fulfilling my commissions of this month because I got new ones. And what else I was doing this week? Mm, 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 mm. Oh, I kind of started buying the Christmas presents of this year.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Already?
Jesus.
Are you going to buy a couple every month until Christmas? Is that how you do it?
The thing is that normally when I go out and I see something interesting, I tell my mom or my sister or whatever, hey, this looks interesting for this relative. This looks interesting for this relative. This looks interesting for you. And they say, oh, yeah, start to buying it because later you're not going to be able to find it.
Do you tell people what you're getting them for Christmas?
To my relatives, no. The only ones who mostly know are, for example, in my nuclear family, mom, dad, siblings, etc. The other ones don't know.
Got it.
Yeah, because, for example, today my sister, my mom, went to see her sister, and one of my nephews had one of these Kindle tablets. You know it, the ones from Amazon.
Oh
I know that
yeah.
they exist. I don't know much about them though. Like I know that they are a product.
Yeah, well, my nephew had one, and he showed it to my mom, and she sent me a message and told me, "Hey, I want one of these for Christmas." Say, okay.
How much does that cost?
It depends on the size because there are different sizes.
Uh huh.
So I'll have to.
Do you have a size in mind for your mom, or are you going to see what's on sale and let that decide?
She told me that she was going to investigate the size that my sibling had for his own Kindle, and she's going to send me the link.
Gotcha. What do you usually spend generally per relative?
Normally, it will be in human money. Let me see. Let me make the conversion. Like $50.
That's not bad. $50 is reasonable, I think, for Christmas. Like maybe one or two people you might spend $100 or $200 on, but it's not a good idea to fucking go into hock over Christmas. Christmas isn't about the presents. The presents are really for the kids.
Well, the thing with my nephews and nieces, the reason why I don't normally give them presents is because they have their parents who give them
Yeah,
presents. So I don't find it there are good reason to give any stuff to them because they have their own
and
parents.
parents tend to go fucking all out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the reason why I don't
Yep.
give them everything.
Hi,
And,
Porch Goose.
Is that Paulo Costa?
hey,
He said, "Did you guys see the Quartering interview, Alex Jones?" I caught
no,
a little bit of it.
No.
I didn't knew
So
it actually.
yeah. So what I gathered, well, I only caught like a little bit. I need to watch the whole thing, but he and Steven Crowder are doing like a show together,
Oh, really?
or or making a website together.
That sounds interesting.
As I said, I need to watch the whole thing, maybe after the show, but that's the new thing.
Interesting.
Mhm.
I'm curious
And
as
maybe
to where
we
that's gonna go.
Yeah, and maybe we can talk about it next week because I already got today's stories for the week. But yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes too. I will watch it and maybe I'll send you the link for you to watch and we can discuss it maybe on Thursday when we do our Europa stream or next Sunday or next Saturday. But let's get to some stories quick. So, first, just breaking. Uh, the Pie Man himself is in the hospital, or was in
Was
the
was
hospital.
in the hospital.
Yep. So, and Mega, you're more in the know. What happened to Mr. Pie Man?
Okay, first and foremost, he's okay. He's already back home. But based on what I saw in his live stream, uh, in the last couple of days, he started to feel chest pains on the left side of his chest, and his arm also started to feel kind
Ugh,
of numb. So,
that's all heart attack.
if you know a little bit of medicine, you know what it means. So he started to feel a little bit scared, and he went to ER in order to get a checkup.
Understandable.
Um, Apparently, they managed to control it, but obviously, they gave it recommendations to go see the cardiologist and all that. And based on what I'm seeing here on Twitter, it's kind of expected considering all the stress that is going on his life right now. I mean, he's handling his own business and he has a lot of stuff in his mind. And also,
And
he's not a young man anymore. He's in his 40s. He needs to take care of his health.
And he's pretty fat too, so
Also, he's
he very
overweight.
much he very much has a hypertensive personality. And by that I mean, like, he has those little bouts of rage.
Yeah, from time to time. True.
Yeah, that's a hypertensive personality. I've worked for people with that. Um, Heart attacks definitely happen to people with that personality. So it's good that he is still standing.
Yep. I was thinking about this the other day because we see all these live streams featuring people like Ethan, Cecil, Nick Riqueta, and Anna, that Star Wars girl. And well, in my case, since I work in healthcare, I tend to see all these guys have this kind of lifestyle. And
Yeah.
I tend to think, well, eventually having this kind of life is going to take a toll on your body. Drinking all that
It
alcohol is going to fuck your liver one of these days. In the case of Anna,
it
who, as far as I know, doesn't drink a lot of water, she's mostly drinking soda. That is going to bust her
oof.
kidneys one of these days.
yeah, and if she keeps doing that, she's gonna blow up when her metabolism stops
Yep.
or slows down.
If my memory doesn't fail, Dan Fraga had a problem with his kidneys. I think like 3 years ago, he had kidney stones. Those
Yeah,
come from somewhere.
this was a long time ago. This was in my 20s. I actually got kidney stones. And you know what I think it was from?
Mm.
What?
Energy drinks.
Yeah,
I think it was from energy drinks. I was drinking way too many of them, but it was like I was working 2 jobs and trying to have some sort of life outside of work. And I was drinking like at least one a day, right? That's too much. That's way too much. Those things are
yeah,
pretty bad for you.
yeah. It's the best recommendation is to always be drinking water in order to keep
Yeah.
your kidneys in pristine condition.
Indeed. I mean, I like to partake in the occasional alternative drink or two, but it is important to always drink water. But
Yeah,
which is hard because I guess most people don't really like water, or they try to like put stuff in the water to make it taste better because I guess water is water.
it doesn't taste like it doesn't have taste.
Yeah, yeah, water just tastes like water unless you live in a place where they put like minerals in it and it has like a weird taste like that. And that's how else you can like develop problems. Like they have all these sugary shit like Crystal Light or Kool-Aid or what is that? The little sugar juices that you can like squeeze into your water.
Oh, I know that. I forgot the name, but yeah, I remember them.
Hmm. And that can get you too, even though you think it's the healthy option. So just get used to straight water.
Yeah, if for example, in my case, I drink the recommended quantity of water every day. I actually
Hmm.
love drinking water, which is an advantage, but not all the people have the same taste.
I
Yeah.
tend to always have a water bottle. Like I stopped with the energy drinks for the most part, like every now and again, maybe. But I drink a fuckload of coffee. And I tend to keep a water bottle nearby.
Yeah, that's what's happening to me too. I'm drinking like I drink like chocolate vitamin powder mixed with the ground toasted barley cuz I can't have like regular coffee. And then I mix it with
Smart.
milk and then water.
In my case, I drink coffee very, very rare, probably like or 2 times a month.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh. Mhm.
Yeah, I mostly don't need coffee to work.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would
So
lose my mind without coffee.
so I need to like um I don't know, I there's a lot of things I have to work on with my body. But Paulo says in Europe, bottled water is generally pretty shitty. I don't get why people like Evian tap water is always preferable. The thing is, like most tap water in some countries aren't like not the best. For example, Mexico and Peru. So that's why you either boil your water or you just get bottled water.
Yep.
Then he also adds, I can't help drinking a couple liters of water a day. If it's thirsty, it has to be water. Indeed.
Yeah.
Okay.
It helps to do like if you're doing physical labor, you're not going to be able to. You're going to have to drink a lot of water, and that's one of the reasons why I'm glad I do physical labor.
Well, get well soon, Ethan Van Sciver, the Pie Man. We want more uh Cyberfrog comics and whatever else he's doing.
Toys,
Uh, sorry,
playing
comic skate
cars.
haters. You thought he was a goner, but he lived, bitches.
Yep.
Yeah, there are things that EBS does that annoys the shit out of me, but I don't want to see him die of a heart attack by any means.
Okay, so this next one I'm debating if we can show it because it's it's the assassination of the guy in Ecuador.
Oh, the candidate, the
Yeah,
Colosio.
you don't see him like actually get plugged. You just see him like maybe go into the car and then you hear the gunshots. So is it still safe to show?
They don't swear in the video. I didn't pay attention.
Okay. Yeah, well, uh, so was it what happened? When did this happen? Tuesday or Wednesday?
It has the date, isn't it? Down there?
Uh, oh, August 9th, so that was
Wednesday, I think.
Wednesday. Okay. But yeah, Wednesday, there was a presidential candidate named Fernando Villavicencio in Ecuador, aka the tiny Peru up in the north, and uh, they're having the same problem that Mexico has, namely that the cartels have decided to get to the source for their yayo. And I'm gonna pop on this. I'm gonna pop on the sound, and we can watch a man die. So yeah, he's coming out, and he's getting into the car, and then so I think this video got to the point. So thoughts?
Uh,
Uh, this is how things start to get out of hand.
Yeah. There's also this video here where it's in Spanish, but it says he was a presidential candidate assassinated in Quito, which is the capital of Ecuador, and he was already like reporting threats against or can what's this? Omega? He was already
yeah,
he
he
was
already
already
had got threats from the cartel of Sinaloa.
yeah. So they're coming down here now, and he says, the Sinaloa cartel refer to me as feet uh uh refers to me as Fito against me and against my campaign team with a warning that if I keep referring myself to him and his structure, they will attack against me or 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 my life. So this is what he's saying.
En contra de estas estructuras de Sinaloa, me refiero alias Fito, en mi contra y en contra de mi equipo de campaña con una advertencia que si sigo refiriéndome a él y a su estructura, ellos atacarán en mi contra o atentarán contra mi vida. Esto lo que hace es confirmar que efectivamente nuestra propuesta de campaña afecta gravemente a estas estructuras criminales. Y aquí estoy yo dando la cara, no les tengo miedo. 20 años me he jugado en este país en contra de estas estructuras delictivas y reitero, no les tengo miedo. De Sinaloa, me refiero alias Fito.
So Paulo says that the police are trying to prevent his family from attending the funeral because of safety concerns, and then the family said, now that he's dead, you worry about his safety. So could have this been an inside job?
I think that even the guy who committed the hit already is dead.
Yeah, really?
I read somewhere that
But yeah, so Ecuador is having their own Colosio moment.
Yeah, but the thing with Colosio, and I talked to you about that on Discord, is that Colosio was killed by his own party.
Really?
Yeah, Colosio was killed by his own party.
And why would they? Why did they do that?
Um, Back in those days in Mexico, for those who don't know, we had the perfect dictatorship because the Conservative Party, known as El PRI, had seized control of the presidency of Mexico for over 70 years. And they made the whole country believe that we were living on a democratic country when that was not the case. Normally, the president choose his successor, who used to be his campaign organizer. The election took place, and that person who was elected by the president used to win the election. So when Salinas de Gortari, who was the president, who was going out, choose his successor, who was going to be Colosio, he started to have problems with him, and they started to have several very heated discussions. And Colosio kind of started to cut ties with Salinas de Gortari. So when all the people in the party realized that Colosio was not going to be someone who was going to be able to manipulate as easy as other candidates, they decided to kill him.
Okay. All right. Did you ever watch the? Was it a documentary on Colosio, or I don't know if it was like a biopic or a documentary on him,
The one
but they
of
did
Netflix.
one on
Netflix?
Netflix. Yeah.
No, I haven't wanted to see it, but I have not found time. But I know it exists.
But yeah, this uh obviously this worries me because now we have cartel activity, not I mean actual Mexican cartel activity now in South America, kind of
But
left
I
by
mean,
the huge void.
that's not new. They've been down there.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
but it was the
local
but
cartel.
it was the Colombia cartels, like Pablo Escobar
Yeah,
and
but
Cali.
the Escobar cartel is far past its breadth of efficacy. It's over the hill. And what Sinaloa does is they absorb other cartels. That is, I mean, that's kind of a common thing for uh, underworld organizations anyway, but they're very good at it. They're very effective at it. They're in the area I grew up in, and they absorbed everyone around there. So there is no competition.
Yeah, and that I'm pretty sure they're they're running things in my place too in Wisconsin. I mean, they probably already have like installations in at least Milwaukee and Madison since they're connected right to Chicago. That's where all the shit comes from anyways. So, you know, that's I guess that's just life, I guess. Keep the borders open. Okay. But yeah, our QAPD Vilencios. Okay. Our next story involves Sam Bankman from CNN Business. Sam Bankman Fried is sent to jail over alleged witness tampering. So I will talk about that. Just gotta plug in my computer and so it doesn't run out of battery. Okay. Okay, it's in the plug. All right. So, a federal judge revoked bail for FTX co-founder Sam Bankman-Fried, citing probable cause that the accused crypto fraudster attempted to tamper with witnesses. He was remanded to the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn while the parties sort out details on how he will review discovery materials ahead of this trial scheduled for October. So he was hand So Bankman Fried was handcuffed by U.S. Marshals and escorted out of the courtroom, as seen as this lovely rendering. Um, could they? I wish they could have gotten like a better court artist.
What is the tampering that he was doing?
Yeah,
What was he doing that
yeah. I'm
constitutes
getting
witness tampering?
right on this. The prosecutors sought to revoke bail after what they described the violations, including contacting potential witnesses against him, using a virtual private network to subvert monitoring, and speaking with a reporter about the weasel, Caroline Ellison.
That's strange that he would go that far. I wonder about this guy. Like, I don't think he completely understands what he's been doing.
I mean, he marketed himself as like a altruistic some shit, an altruistic
Which was
banker or something.
utter nonsense. There's no such thing, and there can't possibly be a such thing.
Yeah,
But I think it's possible that he doesn't understand that he's not an altruist. I think that he believes that he's an altruist. He's got that tism, man. You can see it in his face. He doesn't like. How would I explain it? He's the type. He will do things that are terrible, but he will buy his own story, and he's probably very easy to manipulate.
So
Yeah.
who manipulated him?
Well, it says here that Ellison the Weasel is one of several former business partners who have taken a plea deal and plans to testify against him. So, if he was trying to talk to Weasel Girl, then that's why he's getting caught for that. Let's see.
As far as who manipulated him, his parents definitely. I think his parents were his main string pullers, honestly.
Oh, yeah, right here. Yeah, they say Bacon Free was covering his tracks when he allegedly leaked Ellison's personal accounts to the New York Times by allowing a reporter to review them in person. And then added that leaking an ex-girlfriend's intimate writing would only be done to hurt, discredit, and frighten the subject of material. But then his attorneys argue that he has the right to defend his reputation in the press and the complexity of his defense.
Well, he does have that right, but he doesn't have the right to, depending on what the documents are, like if they're not his property or if they're, like here's a good example. If they're medical documents, do you have HIPAA in Mexico?
What?
Do you have HIPAA in Mexico?
It's the HIPAA.
HIPAA. I forget what it stands for, but it's like a set of rules regarding medical documents that it's a big. You get in a lot of trouble legally if you violate HIPAA. So like if a doctor, just for example, was to publish patient medical records without the authorization of that patient, they would lose their license. They would get sued. They would possibly even do jail time for it. It's an enormous. It's a big deal.
I think here in Mexico is the norma oficial mexicana. It will be the closest thing because it pretty much sets the rule of everything that the guys in the healthcare sector can and cannot do.
Got it. And does that govern medical documents?
As far as I know, the files, are protected by that thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking about.
Yeah, because I think it even has a set of rules of how it has to be filled every time you open a new file on a patient.
Yeah.
What else? So the Wankman lawyers also agreed to the gag order that would limit his contact with individuals outside the case, but then the judge said that the gag order wouldn't be sufficient given his history of towing the line, and then it gets into like the whole fraud thing with FTX. Yep. Which is one of the biggest financial frauds in U.S. history. He is accused of stealing deposits for his cryptocurrency exchange FTX to finance risky bets at his crypto hedge fund Alameda Research, and funnel contributions to American politicians and underwrite a luxury lifestyle for himself and his employees in the Bahamas. And FTX
He's one of those dudes who legitimately doesn't understand that there are rules that could possibly apply to him. He legitimately, I don't think he understands that concept.
Yeah, maybe he's the mastermind, maybe he's the fall guy for something bigger.
He's definitely not the mastermind. His parents were absolutely pulling his strings.
Okay. And from Texas, Texas Troons BTFO, as Governor Abbott protects fair competition with Save Women's Sports Act. So, Governor Greg Abbott ceremonially signed the Save Women's Sports Act passed during the 88th regular legislative session at the Texas Women's Hall of Fame in Denton. The governor was joined by former NCAA athletes and spokeswoman for Independent Women's Voice, Riley Gaines, aka the chick who was on the same swim team as Leah, and Paula Scanlon, don't know who that is, and a dozen other female athletes to celebrate this momentous law to protect the integrity of fair competition and women's sports in Texas.
Do you think that they call him Big Dick Bill behind his back?
Maybe. But I know that they said that they had to attend classes to get used to undressing around a man or a woman with a penis or a sheenus. A sheenus,
God,
they call
that's so
it.
fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. And they'd also say that Leah would like walk around the locker room just swinging that sheenus around.
Big Dick Bill.
Let's see. We gather today at Texas Women's Hall of Fame, which was founded in 1984, to recognize women who have attained extraordinary achievements and ensure these achievements and contributions are written in our state's legacy, Abbott said. Women have thrived under college sports. They have mastered discipline, spurred drive, and cast visions and inspired by a worth ethic to achieve greatness. They learn to triumph with the grace and how to gracefully accept failure. They have learned how to hone skills and then translate them into successful careers and family. The legacy of women's sports will now be safeguarded for generations to come. And then Riley Gaines said, I'm thankful to Governor Abbott for supporting women and girls at all levels of competitive sport, including collegiate athletes. And by signing the act, Abbott has sent a powerful message to Texans and to all Americans that we must protect the female category in sports if women and girls are to have equal athletic opportunities required by law. Now, you may say, Des, why aren't you against this because you are a troon? Well, I am a troon, but I know my limits. For example, I can't go like on the football field and start tossing the old pigskin around. I will fucking die by getting plastered by a 400-pound linebacker.
It's very similar to what I was saying about Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people out there who don't understand that there are rules that could possibly apply to them and tell them no about something. This is what I think is going on with Big Dick Bill. He thought he saw a hack to move up in the world, right? Which is he was a shitty swimmer when it compares to men, but he realized, well, I can smoke these chicks. and then I'm good. Then everybody loves me, right? He didn't. I wonder if he has an internal monologue. I watched this. I watched this thing yesterday where this dude interviewed a chick without an internal monologue, and this concept still it makes my brain go into overdrive because I have too much of an internal monologue. There's no questioning of the self in either Big Dick Bill or Bankman's brains. It's just I see an opportunity, I take.
Yeah, and I mean, South Park even did a whole episode about it.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that.
Strong woman.
Strong woman.
Funny enough, when I was walking to meet my friend at the cat cafe, I saw a woman wearing a workout shirt that had something related, and it said "strong woman" on it, and the song immediately popped into my head. Okay. Anything else? Then she said, "I am so happy that Governor Abbott had taken the stance to protect women and girls sports, and I am proud to stand with him as we celebrate this legislation," said Scanland. The Safe Women's Sports Act is necessary in all states, and I'm very thankful that Texas has taken steps to provide fairness and safety for female athletes. And then he also signed a similar law to protect girls' sports in Texas public schools, so like middle school and high school.
What do you think they're going to do to take one back? What do you think the Troons are going to do to take one back? Because this is a thing that they do. When you tell them no, they do it 5 times as much. So what are they going to do?
I wouldn't know because I'm not that deranged of a Troon to figure out ways to insert myself in places where I am not allowed and told no.
Sure, but there's still they have to have a move in mind. They have to have a move in mind, and I'm curious.
I don't know. Maybe it'll do something in the schools bathrooms. I have no idea, and I honestly don't really care.
Some sort of corporate endorsement deal in return for DEI points.
Perhaps. Actually, we do have a story related to that, but that'll be coming in like a few minutes. What did Paulo Costa say? Oh, he said that medical data has been merged into the GDPR legislation. And that's in Europe. Okay. So, how are things going in Ukraine? Where is it? Not good. Just waiting for it to load here. Yep, so NATO training leaves Ukrainian troops underprepared for war. Western instructors don't understand the kind of war or enemy that we're fighting for, says Ukrainian soldiers. First, pour one out for Coach Red Pill. He is probably getting zapped in the nuts while a bunch of Troons surround him and laugh.
Dude, you're probably right. It's sad. I really wish that I did not think that was happening, but that is most likely what is happening.
Oh God! What if
he's even alive?
What if the Troons are like force feeding him estrogen, and then they're going to chop off his dick?
I hope that doesn't happen. I can see. You know what though?
What?
I can see that happening too.
Yeah. F in the chat for Gonzalo. You should have stayed in Chile. You should have stayed in Chile and be one of those stupid Chilean rotos, but nah, you just had to go over in the Slav.
How do you say it was called, Gonzalo?
Yeah, Gonzalo Lira.
Gonzalo Lira.
And he's from Chile, Santiago, I think.
You have never seen that meme from Gonzalo, yes, here in Mexico?
No.
I guess you remember this football team called Las Chivas, who are from Guadalajara.
Yep, from Guadalajara.
Okay.
Chivas!
There's a video from a guy who is crying because the Chivas lost a match, and everyone is telling him, "Yeah, chill out, Gonzalo. You're making a shame in front of your kids. Cool down," because he's crying and he's hitting the wall because the Chivas lost, and he became a
I'll
meme.
have I'll have to find it. But
I can
anyways,
look. I look for it. Go on.
find it and we'll watch it after. All right. Yep. Ukrainian soldiers are being left unprepared or underprepared for the realities of Russia's war because of a disconnect between NATO and domestic military training, according to one frontline brigade. So far, more than 60,000 Ukrainian soldiers have taken part in military training in the West. Yet NATO can only currently offer Ukrainian soldiers basic training, shifting the burden of vital combat training back to Ukraine. Time constraints mean that stage 2 training doesn't always happen or happen in full in Ukraine or the West. I don't want to say anything against our partners, but they don't quite understand our situation, how we are fighting, said a senior intelligence sergeant in the newly formed 41st Mechanized Brigade who goes by the name Dutchman. That is why main training and the integrated training happens here. Let's see.
I mean, this guy should be able to understand that his country's being used as a money laundering front.
Yeah. You know what? On the conspiracy site that I go to, above top secret, someone made a post about how Zelensky is the new Trotsky, and I wanted to try to find like more information about that, but
that's a very
it was,
interesting
like,
allegation.
It was mostly the poster's opinion.
I would like to read that. That's a very
yeah,
that's a very interesting opinion to have.
I can link it up to you after. But this Nick Reynolds guy, an expert at the Royal United Services Institute, ironically called RUSI, which is a UK defense think tank, said that the current training for the Ukrainian military is less realistic but safer and simpler. Safe and simple don't win you wars, my friend. And then he admits that this approach shifts the risk from things going wrong at the training stage to things going wrong during live operations.
This whole war is things going wrong.
Yep. Let's see. He says, we do have a lot of health and safety regulations, yet this means they're going onto the battlefield less prepared. So what? They have to wear masks in case someone has COVID? So they don't catch like the coof or something? Let's see. Most of the day-to-day... Yeah. Most of the day-to-day tactics, along with combined arms training, are taught in Ukraine. The Western training is good and the guides gain experience, but the most useful training is still done in Ukraine, said Dutchman, who joined as a volunteer fighter at the start of the conflict in 2014. Here they be. Let's see. But it usually takes between 1 and 2 years to form a brigade, but wartime conditions mean that 90% of the 41st Brigade, which Dutchman belongs to, were mobilized this year. The recruitment started in January, and they were dropped into Kupiansk in early July. But the invasion basic training for the Ukrainian troops was 6 months, but some men, this open democracy met have been mobilized as recently as March, highlighting Ukraine's critical demand for troops. Put the Troons on the front line. Tell them to stop torturing poor Gonzalo, poor Coach Red Pill, and get them out front.
I think that's a great plan. I think that the Americans that have gone over there should be on the front line.
Let's see. So 63,000 Ukrainians, which comes out to 17 brigades total have been trained in the West, mostly in UK and Germany. They receive a 35-day boot camp of basic soldier training. And then basically a source says that the UK training process is basically a crash course, and the most they could be provided in the time available. They also point out that a big plus was thousands of pounds worth of equipment, including body armor and medical supplies, the Ukraine troops take home with them. And then a key concern is that the instructors have never fought a war of this kind or against an enemy like Russia. For years, Western armies and their defense industries have focused on fighting insurgencies in the Middle East.
Ukrainians don't know shit about war in the Middle East. They haven't been involved in that shit. They're fucked, man. I feel bad for I honestly feel bad for the Ukrainians in the military because they're being sent into a meat grinder so that the fucking Clinton Biden cabal can launder money. WEF is probably involved. It sucks for them.
Right. Let's see. For the most part, Western instructors have fought wars in cities and towns, urban settings. We're on flat ground a lot of the time, as shown in this picture. They're in the fields, the forest. We need people to understand how to effectively clear trenches. Oh yeah, they do trench warfare in Ukraine too. Enter them and how to throw grenades effectively, how to not trip on booby traps, to understand what grenades the Russians throw, essentially to understand the enemy. And yeah, let's see, blah blah blah. Let's see. This guy Yura gave the example of minefields. Russian forces have laid extensive minefields, some of which span several kilometers, to hamper the progress of the Ukrainian troops. He says that the Western training was good and interesting, but there was very little about demining. They showed us a minefield about 2 meters wide. The training lasted about 2 hours, but you get here and you look at what's in front of you, it's just not comparable. Another major difference is in planning, referring to the fact that NATO forces usually outgun and overpower their enemies. He said that Western instructors plan with a weaker enemy in mind. They also Ukrainian commanders have to think on their feet much more. They're never going to be a warning regarding an offensive, so when the attack happens, we have to make the decisions. In the West, they make the plan and act accordingly to the plan, and when something doesn't go according to plan, they retreat and make another plan. Let's see. Health and safety protection. The way we build the pathway is you accredit units that is as safe at a lower level, and you build up with each layer. Getting the safety tick off, a single death on a training ground in a NATO country is unacceptable. But Ukraine does not have time to put troops through these various levels, which means it can't access additional, more advanced training modules that would be useful for them. And the condensed training currently offered to Ukrainian troops makes it difficult to reach a stage where NATO would be comfortable layering on additional training. What else? From a legal, regulatory, safety, and permissions perspective, we can't do the type of training Ukrainians want unless we make some fairly serious policy changes. So yeah, they fucked. This is like the French fields meets the Nam jungles with what they're doing. Anything else? But yeah, the 41st Brigade is like acclimatizing to what is called the second line of defense outside Kupiansk. Although they're within comfortable range of Russian artillery and tank fire, they are not as targeted as the first or zero line. And ultimately, no soldier is properly trained until they're on the battlefield and can think through their reaction. So yeah.
There's no way 35 days gets you ready to fight Russians. A lifetime. It takes a lifetime. It's all hubris, man.
Let's see. Then more commentary from Paul. He says, ironically, France is much better suited than the U.S. to train soldiers for guerrilla war. I mean, the French were the first ones to get pulled into Vietnam because it was a French colony. And then Trotsky, I always found Zelensky to be more like Fulgencio Batista.
Holy shit.
The U.S. I'm going to come back at you on that, Paulo. The U.S. actually, you'll see what I'm saying. The U.S. invented guerrilla warfare. They learned it from the Native Americans. The Green Mountain Boys were the revolutionary unit that became the Green Berets, or the Rangers. I forget which. It's the Rangers. So the French would have learned guerrilla warfare from the Americans. Fuck the French.
Yeah. I was gonna put in a story about the Nigers, because last I heard, a bunch of like supporters of the coup was surrounding a French base, and we're gonna do something. So maybe next week.
Wait, are you talking about South America?
No, in Africa, in Niger.
I'm sorry, I meant South Africa. Wait, I don't know what's going on in Niger.
No. Oh yeah. The army took over the presidency. They kicked out the presidency, the elected presidency.
I
You
know
didn't
nothing
hear
about
about
this. No. What do you know?
Let me grab something here. Okay. Let's see. Let me grab something quick. I'll just do the Wikipedia. But yeah, we'll come back to Biden. So on the 26th of July, the country's presidential guard detained the president Mohamed Bazoum and the presidential guard commander Abdurrahmane Tichani. The presidential guard commander, that guy proclaimed himself the leader of the new military junta. And this is the fifth military coup since they gained independence from France in 1960, and the first since 2010. It's widely condemned by the international community and the West African Regional Bloc, which is ECOWAS, or the Economic Community of West African States, which is currently considered a military intervention in the country, leading to the Nigerian crisis. And on August 6th, 57,000 soldiers were counted among the overthrowers. So the latest one is blah blah. On August 10th, the junta declared a new government, naming 21 ministers by Prime Minister Ali Lamine Zaini, as an announcement on Tele Sahel by Secretary General of the government Mahamane Rufai Lauli. 3 generals who were members of the CNSP were named to the head interior. And then on the 12th, a delegation led by General Musa Salo Barmou visit Conakry to ask Guinea for support, and was received by the head of the Guinean junta, Mamadi Doumbouya, this gentleman. But yeah. And then this is also following the coup in Guinea, which happened in 2021. And a lot of people are not happy. So that's the And Paul Costa has a little more. He says, Nigeria and Ghana want France to pacify Niger because the Wagner Group is on the terrain in there, and it's also because Russia financed the military coup in Niger.
Oh, that makes sense. Thank you,
Yeah.
Paul.
Okay.
That makes things all clear up. Now I understand why this is relevant.
Yeah, and you also have the Chinese in there too. But they're
Well, the Chinese
doing,
are all over
yeah.
Africa, and the Africans should be fucking. The Africans should be doing that thing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Leave the Boers alone, man. Get the Chinese out off your continent. They're a much, much bigger threat. They will make Africa a slave continent if they can manage it.
Mm-hmm. All right. I don't know if we got to this, but Garland named special counsel in Hunter Biden investigation.
Boy, that's a good idea.
Delaware U.S. Attorney David Weiss, who has been investigating the criminal allegations against Hunter Biden, has been named as special counsel, Attorney General Merrick Garland said Friday. Weiss made the request to be special counsel on Tuesday. And Weiss, a Trump appointee who was retained during the Biden administration, has been investigating Hunter Biden since 2019. They reached a tentative plea deal, but then it collapsed amid scrutiny recently from a Delaware federal judge. I think we touched
that's
upon
because
that last week.
Yeah, Hunter has been trying to. Well, his legal team have been trying to sneak like fucking global immunity to everything in there, so that he doesn't ever get tried and convicted for anything. Which, like, the fact that they're so adamant on that tells you that they know there's shit that he's going to get convicted of if the right thing happens at the right time.
Mm-hmm. And they say that the order of appointment for Weiss is to serve as special counsel, authorizes him to conduct the ongoing investigation described above, as well as any matters that arose from the investigation or may arise. And it also gives him the authority to prosecute federal crimes in any federal judicial district arising from the investigation of these matters. Weiss requested the special counsel status earlier this week after determining that, in his judgment, his investigation has reached a stage at which he should continue his work as special counsel, and he asked to be so appointed. I think, well, I've been hearing that they're only doing it to run out the clock on the more serious crimes and then just hit him with the smaller crimes so he can do less time. As
Well, he
like a
won't do time.
symbolic gesture. Huh?
Yeah, he won't do time.
But yeah, as I said before. Yeah, you're going to say something?
There would have to be an enormous clearing out of the swamp for him to do time. I'd like to see that happen, but I'm not holding my breath.
Let's see. The scope of the ongoing investigations is not cleared under Justice Department guidelines. Prosecutors do not spell out as yet uncharged allegations. But the appointment paperwork for Weiss refers to 2 criminal matters against Hunter Biden and says he began probing Biden, among others, several years ago. So I don't know if he's an R guy or what.
Merrick Garland?
No, this Weiss guy.
Oh yeah, I don't know about Weiss.
Merrick Garland, he's definitely not an R guy.
Nah, he looks too much like a lich.
But yeah, Mr. Weiss' authority over the 5-year investigation into Mr. Biden. The development comes just weeks after the judge in the Hunter Biden case said she wasn't ready to accept the plea deal struck between the president's son and the Justice Department and asked both parties to submit additional briefs in return to the court on a future date. She also demanded that the lawyers from both sides make clear that the deal does not convey broad immunity offered to Biden for prosecution on his business dealings, which as a result, Hunter Biden pled not guilty to 2 misdemeanor offenses related to his filing of federal income taxes. Then
They got Capone on income tax evasion, but they aren't going to get Hunter Biden on it or Joe Biden.
Then, following additional negotiations after the hearing held on July 26th, the parties are at an impasse and not in agreement on either plea agreement or diversion agreement, the Justice Department said in the filing. And then they said on August 9th, they wanted Biden's position on August 9th and asked for it by August 11th, but then his lawyer said they needed an extension until August 14th, which the government declined, and he has not yet provided his position. As a result, the government respectfully requests that the court vacate its briefing order since there is no longer a plea agreement or diversion agreement for the court to consider. But yeah. As we know, Hunter Biden agreed to plead guilty to 2 misdemeanor offenses relating to his filing of federal income taxes. And then they also charged him with a felony firearm offense, and then he agreed to enter a pretrial diversion agreement that allows him to avoid prosecution. And he faced a maximum penalty of 12 months in prison on each of the tax charges, and a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison on the firearm charge. But White's office noted that the actual sentences determined by the judges are typically less than the maximum. So yeah, he's just basically getting a soft little tap on the wrist.
I mean, so far he isn't even getting that, and like what he's trying to do is get a nothing forever.
Mm-hmm. And of course,
it's unbelievable that people fall for it. Like, I understand, like, the Biden family are a criminal syndicate. Okay, that's what they act like. I get it. Criminal's gonna criminal. It just amazes me that anyone fucking falls for it.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, they mentioned Donald Trump and his arraignment on separate and unrelated related federal charges related to his handling of classified documents. And then he was also charged for then Trump was also charged for his role in the Capitol riots on January 6th.
Trump getting charged with things that he had the right to do, and Hunter Biden getting not charged with things that he did not have the right to do. How interesting.
That the spokesperson said, if this special counsel is truly independent, even though he failed to bring proper charges after 4-year investigation, as he appears to be trying to move the case to a more Democrat-friendly venue, he will quickly conclude that Joe Biden, his troubled son Hunter, and their enablers, including the media, which colluded with the 51 intelligence officials who knowingly misled the public about Hunter's laptop, should face the required consequences. And then that's it. But yeah, Trump is getting shafted. Hunter is getting
excuse me,
slap on the wrist. Oh, hey, hi, hero 92694 Abel. He says Wagner's going to fail. I have a feeling, maybe I'm wrong though. Talking about the Wagner group in Africa. Or in general? Who knows? And then he also says he's not our guy.
Who's he? Who's not our guy?
Who is it, hero? Is it Merrick Garland, the Weiss guy? Let us know in the comments.
Merrick Garland, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty certain Merrick Garland is not our guy. I'm pretty certain about that.
So, we have another company that's about to pull a Bud Light from O'Keefe Media Group, ran by our...
Definitely our guy, James O'Keefe.
Yep. our guy, I was going to say our idol, James O'Keefe.
Well, not I don't know. He's not my idol, but he's definitely, I like him.
Right. Well, from O'Keefe Media Group, discrimination. A citizen journalist has revealed Best Buy is partnering with McKinsey and Company on a management training program. This program is not open to white applicants. Candidates must meet the racial requirements below. Any comment, Best Buy? And here we go. In Biggin, they can't make it bigger. It says candidates for these programs must meet the requirements below. They say currently working in an exempt salaried role, have worked more than 1 year in a current role at Best Buy, identifies Black, Latino, Hispanic, Asian, or Pacific Islander, and able to commit to the following to participate in the learning sessions and small group discussions, leadership essentials, and management acceleration or accelerator.
Oh, really? So that's, hey, can you make that any bigger? Or put the link in the private chat? Because that is the Kurt Levin program.
Yeah, hold on.
That's the National Training Institute. No, National
And
Training Laboratories.
Yeah, and Hero says that it's Weiss. Weiss is not our guy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I just want to take a look at this form because I'm pretty sure that they're using the National Training Laboratories. They have a training program. They have, like, you know, multi-level trainings, and Accelerate is one of them.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure that their materials are from the National Training Laboratories. And if people were to look into the National Training Laboratories, they would find where this is all coming from. But I've tried for 6 years to get people to understand that, and they haven't.
Yeah. Then Boycott are reporting that Best Buy's management training program excludes whites. Has started a firestorm, made you even a national boycott. Will you keep shopping at Best Buy? I haven't been to a Best Buy in like forever. You can probably get shit cheaper off of Amazon. But why not hear me yak about it? Why not we let our guy. So
featuring a whistleblower from inside. I'm James O'Keefe with OMG standing outside Best Buy this week on August 8th. O'Keefe Media Group OMG
you lost the share.
Featuring a whistleblower from inside.
What?
There you go.
All
you
right.
lost the screen share for a second.
Okay. All right.
Inside Best Buy that released screenshots of a training program, a management training program with McKinsey and Company, where it explicitly excludes white applicants. The program's racial requirements have led to accusations of racial discrimination, a firestorm online. The CEO of Best Buy, Corey Berry, has now made her Twitter account private.
White woman ruining America.
Also, that they can get told that they're good, which, hang on, we lost the volume.
No, I paused it.
It was still rolling.
Oh, well, I have it paused.
Oh, hang on. No, I'm a retard, dude. Don't listen to me.
Okay.
That was the Rumble window. That was a Rumble window.
Aw. But yeah, white women ruining companies. Liberal white, no, not just any white women. Liberal white women ruining companies.
First of all, no, it's definitely all white women. They will all do this because the thing that they care more than anything else is attention and validation.
The Pinchies and Val.
Yeah, even the conservative ones are going to do this shit because you notice they keep doing this shit. They're still scooping shit. It's just from a different bucket. And it's because they care more about attention and validation than literally anything else in existence. They're doing great. The companies are smart. They're using them because they know that when the white women go, wah, they get what they want. So the companies are putting them in the position to go, wah, and get what they want. It's very smart on the company's behalf. What they're destroying is the entirety of Western civilization. And we'll never get it back once they destroy it.
All right. Continue rolling.
Now, a second whistleblower has come forward exclusively to OMG with audio recordings of his manager, Mike Hirsch, at a Best Buy in Jacksonville, Florida, stating that LGBTQ flags were appropriate in the Geek Squad office, but Christian crosses were not. This has led to further allegations of religious discrimination.
I mean, to be fair, separation of church and state, but still get those freak flags out of there.
Well, that's not the state. That's the business, which the state doesn't. Well, it does have the right to regulate, but
Okay, rolling.
If we're doing all that gay pride flags and all that transgender stuff, like why don't we have Christian stuff all over?
They're not the same.
How is that not the same?
You can 1,000% choose religion.
So,
it's not a belief.
listen.
Though. That's almost that's a cultural.
Yeah, but me as a cultural entity having beliefs that I have, so
Right.
why can't I put my stuff all over the wall?
You are choosing to believe in Christianity or Muslim or
Okay.
whatever. You choose
Well,
that.
someone is choosing to be gay
They
or
don't choose to be
lesbian.
gay.
Hey, they're choosing that.
Enis Sujak, a Serbian immigrant and Best Buy employee in Jacksonville, Florida, recorded the conversation with his manager, Mike Hirsch. I spoke with Enis about his situation. He's decided to go public. Very brave, very courageous individual. Here's some of that interaction.
That is our manager. His name is Mike Hirsch. He and I had a very long conversation. It was like an hour and 30 minutes of he and I just going back and forth with him, telling me that it was work appropriate to have all this LGBTQ stuff that's going on in the office and everywhere else, but it's not okay for me to, be a Christian myself and have a Bible right over there. That's right there.
do you think that they will make someone take off their Star of David?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Or
exactly.
if someone brings the Quran to the workplace.
Yeah. Or wears a hijab.
Yep. Or a Quran or anything like that. That's not work appropriate, but having that LGBTQ pride flag everywhere else.
Okay, maybe you can't bring a Quran, but does this also
I
extend to
guarantee-
like, yeah?
Yeah,
Huh?
I don't think that they're going to enforce. I don't think they won't enforce that rule on Muslims. They might say it, but it's lip service so that they don't get in trouble.
I mean,
I know how these people think.
I'm probably not like an actual cross hanging up on the wall, but I can probably see the issue if you like wear the necklace, you're chained with a cross on it or a crucifix, too.
That is work appropriate, and I wasn't standing for that.
Are you calling the police?
I am actually.
You're calling the police.
I'm calling the police. I'm
calling
the
how-
police.
How you get to be a goy this Shabbos, man? Like, this guy thinks that he's on the right side of history. This is the man who that phrase was invented to control. No balls.
Taking issue with the materials he saw on the walls, the LGBTQ materials in the morning meetings, he objected to it and walked out as they required his attendance at these morning meetings.
Her name is Adina. She's also the well-being person at Best Buy.
She's probably insufferable.
I bet she lectures people a lot.
Yep.
And she loves those corporate trainings. I bet you she loves walking into those hotel ballrooms and getting her fucking free cup of coffee and bagel and pretending like she means something to anyone.
I'm networking.
She's the kind of
Yes.
person that Twitter used to employ before Elon Musk bought the company.
Mm-hmm. She
Yep.
looks like
And-
she also looks like she refers to herself as Latinx.
I guarantee you she does no work, but she just yammers at people. That's all. That's her job. She yammers.
I bet she probably went up to that Sujak guy and was like, you should learn to be more inclusive. You have to mitigate your white pride. He's a Serb. He's a Serb. Serbs aren't technically
well,
white.
and she took offense to how I handled the whole situation of just kind of walking out as she was trying to teach us about the LGBTQ history. So she ended up putting more pride flags because of me walking out.
Oof. Man, petty. That
And
is like,
and
yeah.
that will boost the sales. Is what I wonder, because at the end of the day, that's what matters in this business.
I mean, she could be even more petty by putting like half naked men and drag queens on the wall too if she wanted.
Like,
And you walked out of there. How did that go? Athena was teaching about the history, and you just walked out. Did you say anything?
no, not at all. I didn't say anything. I kept it very respectful. That's how I do things in life. I keep it very nice and professional. Me and my partner, we ended up walking out. We went to our truck and we took care of our clients. Apparently she took offense to me not just sitting there.
Let me just back up and see if we can read this here. So, I believe this is her. She's like, I didn't even notice that you had walked out this morning, man. But I had known I would have followed. Oh, wait. I think he was talking to his friend. So his friend is like, I didn't even notice that you had walked out this morning, man. But I had known I would have followed your lead on that. All I've heard this morning was the forceful approach of a differing belief.
So when I worked for a large corporation that's in a lot of trouble these days,
Mm-hmm.
and we were doing the technology for these training centers. This is where I learned about Kurt Levin. There was this one chick on my team who was the least competent person on my team. Only got hired because she's a chick. She was horrifically incompetent, and there were people all over the industry in New York would say how great she is, and I was like, dude, I'd be like, dude, she has no idea what the fuck she's doing. How do you think that? They didn't think that. It's just she's a chick. I made a joke. I was like, hey, if they ever want us to do these trainings, can we just not do them and say we did, because they're awful? She got offended by that. Why? Because when you put these trainings in front of a woman in the workplace, this is Tenchi's and Val. It's like putting a crack rock on the table in front of a fucking crackhead.
Yeah, and then the Sujak, the Serb guy, Sujak, he's saying I appreciate the love, brother, but then someone called Travis called me after telling me that next time we do this on Doc Talk, I can't have you walking out. Right. Rolling.
Apparently she took offense to me not just sitting there and listening to all that garbage.
Now, Enes Sujak works for Geek Squad, which is owned by Best Buy, and it's within the Geek Squad office where Enes witnessed LGBTQ paraphernalia, pride materials. Mike Hirsch, head of warehouse manager of Geek Squad, had a conversation with Enes Sujak, and, well, Sujak decided to take out his phone and record the conversation.
Why would anybody choose to be belittled, tortured, made
in America?
Yes,
in
even
America.
In America.
You know what? You guys bully me all the time for being a Troon, and I take that shit on the chin.
I mean, you're supposed to get made fun of. That's part of interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I call you a dwarf and a Mick, and I call him Mega Beaner. and then whenever that fat greasy hog always rolls up, I throw a bunch of shit at him too, and then you throw shit at me. We all just fling shit at each other, and we're stronger, and our friendship is stronger because of that. It's just these weak-willed Troons are like, words hurt, words are violence.
Well, they're not. Don't mistake. Yes, there's a weakness, but don't let that fool you. They're opportunistic. They're vicious. They're assassins.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're doing the me hurt just to get as they, I don't know, they're planning to get back at you somehow.
It's cry bullying. It's
Yeah.
definitive. I mean, they are who the term cry bully was invented to describe.
Yep.
Right, you have so much freedoms and rights around here. They get special privileges. They get a whole month to themselves, bro.
I will never state how happy I am that godforsaken month is over.
Yeah.
There are people like you and even worse than you that are so anti that.
I'm not anti.
Oh, what happened to the Serbs? Let's talk about the Serbs.
I mean, the thing that you do is you have to don't work for these companies like the Troons. The Rainbows don't have the skill sets to replace you, but you have to stop working for their companies so that their companies collapse under their incompetence. I'm telling you, it'll happen. If you stick with these companies, it's your fault. I mean, sue them if you're in a position to. That's always good, but don't work for them, man. They hate you.
And it's not like the Serbs were an oppressed race back in the day.
Just don't care about how you live your life. Don't preach that shit to me. That's all I am.
Mike Hirsch, we cannot get in touch with him. He has some type of Google system that prevents us from getting his comment, but we've
Oh, how convenient.
reached out multiple times for Mike Hirsch. We'll also be reaching out to the CEO and the other managers within Best Buy. I'm James O'Keefe with OMG News, and we'll continue to follow this important story. We've had a number of whistleblowers reach out to us in the last 24 hours as a result of this initial screenshot from within Best Buy, not just Best Buy, other organizations and corporations requiring their employees to participate in various political programs that seem outside the scope of their corporate charter. Stay tuned. And Ennis, a very brave and courageous individual, very inspiring. We'll be airing the raw portion of my interview with him tomorrow. Stay tuned. Yes, sir.
Mike's last name should be Hunt.
Yeah. Oh, here's our little Shabaskoy.
My name is James O'Keefe. I'm with OMG.
Don't record me.
Don't record me.
You guys don't have permission to be on property. Could you please leave?
Why is that?
Can you please leave the property?
This is a parking lot for a mall in New York State. Sir, what's your name? What is your name?
Humongous.
So we're standing outside the Best Buy, and this man comes out and asks me to leave. Are you aware that the CEO of Best Buy has made her account private?
I mean, he's not going to know that.
Best Buy has made her account private after
this guy's just some
accusations of
schlub.
racial
Like, these
discrimination
questions
have come out.
aren't going to get anywhere. He was sent out there to be a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like me to read you the screenshots?
The dogs.
Are you calling the police?
I am actually.
You're calling the police. Why are you doing that? Have you ever called the police on journalists before?
By E3 O'Keefe Media Group.
That's right. James O'Keefe is my name. Have you heard of my name before? What's your name? What's your name? Is there a better way to do this than to call police because I'm asking questions?
The effect of soy. This man is the poster child for soy. Look at them soy titties.
There is a better way for him to do this. You know, like, he did have a way to win, and the way to win was to be like, bro, I can't. You know, I'm at work. I can't talk to you. I can't. Take a position on this, or I'll lose my job. So they sent me out here to send you home. I got to do that, and then I got to call the cops.
Sure. Thank you very much. This is Carrie Cunningham, managing director, who called the police on me for doing a stand-up outside the Best
Guy
Buy
named
here
Carrie.
in
There
the
you
New
go.
York Mall parking lot.
You know what his mom really wanted.
Yep.
This is unfortunately.
She just didn't have the foresight to put him on blockers and estrogen and chop his non-existent dick off.
That's terrifying.
Only a sad state of affairs for our country. You can't ask questions. You can't even tell stories without people calling the police, which is deeply ironic since they don't like the police. Unbelievable.
A cab until James O'Keefe comes sniffing around.
Yeah, right.
Every time they call the police, every single time that I do an investigative report, they call the police. I just want you to remember that. They called the police 2 days ago in Livingston, New Jersey, when I went to a public school board meeting, and in a parking lot here in Palisades, New York, they're calling the cops on journalists. But notice, too, that he didn't tell me his name, but I kept talking to him, and then he gave me his business card. That's an important lesson. You have to be relentless to get the information. The public has a right to know it.
Yeah, there was like another video underneath, I believe. So, no, this is just the last end. Yep. Then, anything else? Nope. But yeah, Best Buy is pulling a Bud Light.
I don't think that they'll take a big hit yet. It'll take a big incident for that to happen. They have a pretty strong hold on the consumer electronics market. I bought the latest laptop that I have there. If I was buying one this week, I wouldn't, but that is where I bought my latest laptop. They do have that control of market share. So
here's the Ennis guy. I guess he's on Twitter, and he just posted this. Can't make it bigger. We have a light skin, a woman, Asian, African Muslim. This guy looks Hispanic, and a gay guy in a wheelchair. And of course, here we have your Asian, Black, disabilities. Notice how the small Indigenous, Latinx. At least they have military. Oh wait, they only want the military, the Troons, the military Troons. Pride and Whammons. So if you're any one of them, you gotta scan these barcodes. But if you're a straight white man, gender man, you're shit out of luck. Don't work at Best Buy. Yeah. Looking for anything else? I wanted to find the one about the CEO. But yeah. No. Then our last story of the day, ending it on a high note. The best news all week. From Twitchy, no charges for Sikh shop owners for viral beatdown on brazen shoplifter. But yes, these despicable thugs put the beatdown on this upstanding gentleman.
You love to see it.
Yep. There may yet be hope for California's Stockton Mayor Kevin J. Lincoln declines to have the Sikh shop owners who administered instant justice on a shoplifter who brought in a trash can to sell up their stolen merch. In a world of Soros DAs like New York City's Mr. Potato Head impersonator Alvin Bragg, who loves to prosecute people who defend themselves and others. This is a refreshing story. So, did we all see the video? Should I play the video again?
I mean, there's no reason to not play that video again.
Dad, we keep this sleeping. Dad. You the ninja and stop screaming while I beat you.
I told you not to redeem.
Redeem to redeem. Dad, please do not scream while you redeem this video. That's how they do it in Punjab, baby. Thank you, Amir Ben Singh.
Wait, isn't the guy's name like Dota or something?
Or Kamir Singh.
No, it's something like Dota or Dindu or something like that.
Yeah, well, his last name is definitely Singh, of course.
Probably.
And as you can see, he is of the same race as our man who redeemed the beatings. And he says, the events surrounding the viral video from the 7-Eleven on Center Street are under active investigation by Stockton PD. Once completed, Stockton PD will forward the case to the San Joaquin County District Attorney's Office. The District Attorney's Office is the agency that charges individuals concerning crimes alleged. In a statement released by the District Attorney's Office today, DA Freitas expressed that the store clerks are not and have never been suspects of the DA's office, and any investigation going forward is to hold accountable the individual who threatened and attempted to rob the store clerks. California state law, Proposition 47, hinders businesses daily by increasing shoplifting incidents and decreasing our law enforcement's ability to hold accountability those responsible for such acts. These kinds of California state laws continue to impact communities. We will continue to monitor the incident through the judicial process. Based? Question mark?
There's no question mark.
I can't believe it. A based black mayor in my California with this Freitas guy is probably not funded by George Soros? And then Harmeet K. Dillon, who is also of the turbaned people, says,
Yeah, I like that chick.
What?
She's wife material.
Oh, yes. I am relieved that the mayor says the Stockton 7-Eleven Sikhs are not suspects, but just in case, I contacted them, and with the help of law student, these are probably other Sikhs, Tris Dhaliwal and JP Diol, help them secure great legal counsel. If necessary, we are prepared to defend them fully. Stay tuned. Might it be that most Americans, besides those who fancy themselves are moral betters in the media and progressive government, are getting a little sick of the reflexive moves to defend the perpetrator?
Just a little sick of it.
And then from SoCal by the Creek, guy robs a 7-Eleven multiple times. Police response time is glacial. Staff beats the thief after government apparently quitted its job. But the Modesto Bee thinks the victim is at fault. But yeah, they're saying Stockton 7-Eleven clerks went too far in viciously beating brazen shoplifter. I think they didn't go far enough.
I think they went just about right on him, man. Like, that's about the beating he's needed his whole fucking life.
Mm-hmm. And I think, and then here's a guy, Gagan Singh says, I really want to not like Republicans. You make that impossible.
Maybe you should stop wanting to dislike them. Maybe you should start taking them as they are instead of how you want them to be.
And then
Dick
this
face.
guy, and then Hellgrind says, "My hope is that this will give everyone a boost of morale." Oh, it sure did. It sure did. That we can see something happen, respond quickly to it, and spread the word about successes like this. We need to be reminded on a regular basis that we are not and have never been alone. And then
That's true.
this Mom 3 says, "The world is backward right now. In what alternate universe could what they do be wrong?" That's just a normal Tuesday in Amritsar in the Punjab. And then Ian Miles Chong says that they're not getting charged. And Christina Pushaw says, "Not surprised that Stockton Mayor is a Republican." Based! California has some great Republicans. Being subjected to constant insanity from Democrat majorities can make some people more conservative. It happened to me. And wow, imagine if California was Republican like it used to be back in the day. But yes,
Most likely will be again.
God bless you, based turban man. Thank you for giving those rightly redeemed beatings. All right. So next week, what's going on?
Well, we have our Thursday viewing of Europa: The Last Battle.
Of course,
Which-
I hope our viewers have been catching in on it. And Mega, will you be joining us?
Yeah, I guess I can.
We have like 40 views or something over on Rumble, so that's not bad.
Nice.
All right. And so yeah, we have Europa: The Last Battle on Thursday. Are you going to do a show on Saturday or nah?
Maybe. We'll see if I feel like it.
Yeah.
Oftentimes what's been happening is, A, I end up sleeping in a little bit on Saturday because I've been so busy, I'm fucking exhausted. And B, I end up having to do all the shit that I need to do to get ready for the rest of the week. So, maybe I will, maybe I won't. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. And Mega, what's on your plate today? This coming week.
This coming week, aside from work and commissions, there is nothing else. Actually, the big event was the convention last month. There is another big one next month.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing else.
Yeah. I have to get my mariachi suit dry cleaned and free of the moldy stink. Because there's gonna be a convention soon, and I wanna Antonio Banderas it up.
Oh, really?
Yes. As for me, I'm just doing work as per usual and keeping the little Black Hebrew Israelite entertained and healthy and safe. So I guess that's it for today's show. We will see you at the same bat day, same bad hour next Sunday or Saturday. And everyone say your goodbyes.
Have a nice night.
Take care.
Bye.